Hi everyone, welcome back to another Realms Gaming. Today we are playing against Carlo and we are playing a 40 point game, Song of Ice and Fire. So today I've gone for a bit of a thematic list, which after seeing Carlo's list is probably going to lose drastically, but I'm using the fact that I've went thematic instead of competitive as my crutch for losing. So I've went for like a Bolton raiding party style list with Lannister list, but heavily influenced by the Bolton. So I've got Roose Commander up. Today we're using the Song of Ice and Fire stats builder, and I've got Roose Commander and 2 units of House Clegane's Mountains Men, one of which has got the 3-point attachment of Gregor, the Lord Tywin's Mad Dog. I've got a unit of Cutthroats and 2 units of Blackguard. One of which of the Blackguards has Sandor Clegane in it for some cut them down action. The other one has Ramsey, Snow and Theon in it. The other NCU I've got is Pycelle. So my idea was lots of vicious, cut them down, panic, doing a bit of extra damage that way, taking some points and holding them with the Blackguard, hopefully. Whether or not that happens, like I say, we've got quite a strong range presence from Carlo's list, which is probably going to mess me up quite badly. But if I can get some of the units in, it might be able to tip in my favour. The Mountains Men can do good work, especially with Gregor in them, and getting the free charges off at max distance is pretty nice if I can get them to fail a panic test. So we'll see if that happens, but I suppose the crux is whether I can survive the wither and hail of fire. That's going to be absolutely hammering us, but we'll see. It's first time I've played, second time, but the first time we'll not speak about because it was terrible. The second time we've played in real life in months and months and months and months, so if you see any janky movement and stuff, feel free to call out in the comments, but we're just practicing, guys. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Like I say, 40 point game, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey guys, my name's Carlo. You may know me from Song of Ice and Fire stats and the YouTube videos that I do for that. Today I'm going to be playing my Othell Yarwick list from the 3 Sails Super League, partly because I need a lot of practice with it. I'm not that familiar with Night's Watch, and also I think it's quite interesting. A lot of people have been talking about it and whether or not it's any good. It has quite a interesting list design. So it begins with 2 relatively powerhouse ranged units. I have a Scorpion, which has Othell's Scorpion modifications, making it quite defensive. That obviously is a very static piece with a 12-inch range that can't shift. This is very much a zonal control kind of unit there and can put out quite a lot of damage. It also applies quite a bit of tactics board pressure because of the ability to take swords or horses to shoot. And then I combine this with a unit of Builder Crossbowmen, which have Pipar in. This unit is quite important, even though it's quite expensive. It's important that this is the more maneuverable, more dynamic, and more aggressive of the 2 shooting options. It allows me to control space, and it allows me to push fights. It means that my opponent can't sit away from me because this unit has such a big range and can dance in and out of that range quite well. So Pipar generally engages early, pushes the fight early, and the Scorpion itself is sat there to try and protect the things that then want to come for Pipar. This then leads into the interesting new thing, which is of course being proxied today, because I have 3 units of Builder Crossbowmen, Builder Conscripts, which have a senior builder in. This senior builder has a once per game effect. If you don't know, that at the start of any given round, I can place a stake terrain piece within 2 inches. This is going to be important to both protect the war machines, but also the concept is that if I place a stake in front of my own conscript unit, the conscripts will actually be a very difficult thing to fight. The army is generally very defensive, so it's about getting up the board and asserting like zonal control. I would say it's pretty strong against any list which doesn't have big gap closers, so you're generally quite scared of things like Swift Advance and Cavalry. So today we're playing Honed and Ready. There's a lot of focus on the central zone. It's quite a compact middle fight here. So I think that this list will do well, particularly if the Scorpion can get into position and start to dominate the battlefield. I round up the list with Othell as the free NCU commander. He's paired up with Varys because Varys is generally always strong, but his denial and control can help stop the big threats the big plays that you basically have to make to kind of close the gap with me. And then I round that out with Corin Harfand, who has a useful effect of giving +1 movement and +1 attack when influencing, but really if something surprises me and gets into my backfield where I don't want it to be, I can sacrifice him to shut that unit down, and that has saved me in my first TSL game. So he is quite important, but you generally don't want to have to sacrifice him too early. Hope the list works out well, and yeah, enjoy the game.
I guess before we get started, thank you to Carl from West Coast Bannerman for the cool pivot arcs, and thanks to the guys at Art of War Studios for the Carl, give with the objective tokens as well. Thanks to Art of War Studios for the cool tactics board, condition tokens, and activation banners. They're pretty cool. They're based in the UK, and we have a discount code for Art of War Studios. So if you make an order, it's £25 or more. Use Northern Realms 10, you get 10% off your whole order. Cool. Right. So I now get to decide whether or not I am going first.
So we're playing Honed and Ready, and the centre objective came up as when you score this objective, one friendly unit may make a free manoeuvre or retreat action. Matt.
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
My first action is to activate Roose.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I am going to. Sorry. Yeah. No, I shouldn't have.
Go with Pycelle if you want.
Yeah, Pycelle. Yeah. Before I put them down, I'll stick Pycelle down on envelope. I'm going to draw 2 tactics cards. I'm going to make your unit of crossbows weakened with Pycelle, and then I'm going to make the unit of cutthroats on the conscripts on the far right. I'll make them panicked.
Yeah.
And that was with the zone.
I will activate Corin.
No.
And I will take money bags. I will remove this, and I will influence Corin onto them. Okay. +1 movement and +1 other stuff.
I'll activate Roose.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to take 3 move, I think. Makes sense to me. Yes, I'm going to take the 3 move. Roose of the board. Ramsey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will go Othell. Yarwick. Activating. You want to play anything?
Nope.
I'll take swords, and I'll replace his zone's effect with take a card from my deck. I will never 100% sure whether or not you have to show or not, but I'll be taking Mighty Enhancement.
Is that the...
Reroll the hit, and I gain crit blow.
Crit blow. Cool.
6s are 2s, and I reroll the hit.
So I'm just going to do a lot of marching now. guy's going to march up. And the Scorpion's long range, isn't it?
Long range can't shift.
Yeah.
So exactly 12 inches. I'll take Varys onto Crowns and Gregor's Mountains Men. Take a test. -1 for the zone, so 8. Go with D3.
Do not. 3.
3 wins. Here come.
I'm going to. Yeah, these guys are going to march as well. Okay.
Yep. I'll take 10 march here.
8 march here.
10 march here.
Mm-hmm. This is what I don't like about game modes that start at
Short range. Yeah.
short, yeah. So this should just these should just end up in the same place because we're side by side.
Yeah.
So
March 8 with this.
okay.
And you're all done?
Yeah, it's me.
So
all done.
me again with Corin. I'm going to look to try and get within 15, which I actually think I might be able to do, because I can march 12 inches with the +1 movement.
Yeah.
3. I actually think I'll be able to shoot the mountain, which will be nice. Corin there. They're still panicked. Yeah, there we go. All done for the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Having played on TTS for quite a while, there are some advantages to TTS, but that part it takes ages to back and forth and march, and I mean, when you just like actually when you're doing nothing technical, you just slide units across the board. It's so much faster on the real board. Do you want to discard anything?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm keeping mine. So round 2.
Indeed. You first. I suppose we didn't actually mention at the start. Did you mention that the army was like all converted and stuff by Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really show it, but yeah, this is not my army. This is a very heavily converted Night's Watch army, which you probably can't see at that kind of range, but hopefully we'll get some close-ups.
We'll do some glamour shots, yeah.
Almost, I mean, every single model in the army is converted, and basically every single model, despite the fact that I'm using 3 units of conscripts, every model in the army is unique.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a pretty beautiful, crazy army. So big thanks to Dan for lending this army to me.
I can't believe you brought a unpainted unit.
I know, yeah, I know. Asking him to have 3 conscripts already perfectly converted just so I could spam them on stream.
I don't think I've got anything to play at the start of the round, but you get prior
I'm
anyway,
not going
don't
to play any builders.
So is it start of the round they have to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty interesting, yeah, okay.
Yeah. They're not orders, though, so I can put them all down at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one. But yeah, it has to be. It's a start of the round effect. I will be activating Corin.
Mm-hmm.
I will be taking swords.
Mm-hmm.
I will be attaching Corin to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be making a nimble shift.
So you're going to move 3 inches back afterwards, though, aren't you?
Forwards, so I can just be within 12. So I want to be 12 inches away.
Yeah.
There. I'll be taking a shot at the mountain.
Roger.
I'm playing Mighty Enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
So I will roll 8 dice because of Corin. I'll be hitting on 3s. I have re-rolls, and 6s are 2s. So take re-rolls on those 4. We're at 5 hits at the moment, and some 6s, but some misses. So 3 6s for 6 hits,
9.
3 more for 9.
And these are sundering, right?
9 sundering attacks, yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are all 5s. So I've saved 4.
Yeah.
And lose 5, and
Yeah.
I'll do my panic test straight away because it could just end them all. That's still a fail, and that's another 3, so
But
that's
you just got the mountain left.
1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So 5.
Alright, well, if he's still alive, then I'm definitely would rather be here. So, and that's why that unit is worth 9 points.
Secrets, I'll expend the panicked from those guys. I'll have a look at your hand, and I'm going to discard a card. I'll make a discard precision, please.
Yep. Lose precision enhancement.
So I'm going to activate Pycelle.
I will block whatever zone you take
Okay.
with a token. No, you're fine.
Money bags, I'll stick 3 back on there and make them weakened.
Yeah. I'll activate Varys.
Oh, before you do anything else, I am going to... so when an enemy non-combat unit activates, loses all abilities until the end of the round.
Yep.
So you can't snipe anything that I try and do with Roose now.
Yeah. I'll take letters. And I will draw 2 cards, and I will put a panic token on the mountain, please.
Okay. Panicked. Right.
Tests.
I'm going to...
Here's the exact wording.
I'm going to put Roose on there.
Yeah.
But I am going to make 2 units panicked. I'm going to make the crossbows panicked.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make... yeah, I'll make those guys panicked as well.
Okay.
Right, your turn, my man.
I will activate here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to go minimal distance
Just to cover it.
onto there to cover that. And they're activated.
This unit here is going to march its full 8.
I'm going to activate the crossbow.
Okay.
Think,
When enemy panicked unit activates, so you expend a panic token. Enemy must take morale test. On failure, the only action they may take is retreat if they're engaged with houseboat unit,
it
which
has
you're
to
not.
be engaged, doesn't it? And engaged.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Oh, rip, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to shift shoot.
Shift, shoot, and shift.
Well,
Okay.
I'll shift and then... No, I'm definitely
You're
going to
gonna
back,
do
so
that, yeah.
there's no point in not. 8 dice, 8 on 3s. We got rid of them. Should we play that card? Actually, at the start of my turn, can I play Horn That Wakes the Sleepers?
See,
I'll stick it here to draw 2 cards.
draw 2 cards, yeah.
And then...
Shoot
I will
down the mountain
be
again.
taking 8 shots. That hit on 3s. I've got 5 hits.
I'll take the weekend on that, please.
Yeah. We're down to 2 hits.
2 hits,
But
2
really
5
looking for the
pluses.
panic kill.
So 1
wound.
1 wound.
And panic on 7.
Pass.
I'll take a re-roll. So you got 3 and a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a re-roll on the 5. Yeah.
So they're on 7 plus. Morale.
Yeah.
It's a unit.
And 1 PP.
So I'll play
Pays his debts.
when a friendly unit is destroyed. enemy becomes panicked, one enemy becomes vulnerable, and I get to bring one card back because I've got the money bags. So
Panicked and vulnerable.
I'll bring back a Flayed Man's got as intriguing. Yeah, I'll bring back a Flayed Man.
Flayed Man has no secrets.
Yes, and so the panic is going to go here, vulnerable here.
Okay. And that is their activation.
Okay. No shift, right?
No shift.
So these guys are going to march their 10. So start at 1, end on 11, and I'll go like this. Okay.
Okay. I will activate these guys. And it will be here, like this. And done.
Okay, so Flayed Man has no secrets again. I'll expend the panicked from the centre unit of conscripts, and I'm just basically looking for an Othell card.
There's that.
Yeah. Oh, you've got to take that back.
Shields.
Which one was shields?
I should have played take black, shouldn't I? What's the range? Short range. I know.
Short range, yeah.
Couldn't have had Gregor.
I'll ditch Othell's card again.
Yeah. This into roughly here, like this.
Okay. So I'm going to unfortunately have to sacrifice. Oh shit! I just moved you back slightly. I'm going to have to sacrifice some points for not getting shot twice.
Okay.
So I want to be just outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then get you
Which
to.
means that is that your last activation?
That's my last activation. Yeah. So you're going to move and then shoot.
So I will move. I think actually I'm going to. Move like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be shooting
Conscript on the side.
the cutthroats in the side.
Yes, cutthroats.
I think I'm in your front.
Right.
It just the line of sight is there, but I do have line of sight to your front, which is fine. So I take. So that's of course what I do with Othell. And 3 shots that hit on 3s.
So
9
saves on 6s.
Yeah.
4, 5, 8, 9. So save 2, so that's 7 dead, and then a panic test at -1. So
For the corpse pile.
That's
Another 2.
So that's 9 dead.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie dokie. That's done.
That's end of the turn.
I'll be discarding. Take the black and the Watcher on the Wall.
I'm going to discard Fear Keeps the Man Alive.
Yeah. So I will score 2 points, and you will shoot me twice for D3 plus 2 hits. This one. 4 hits. They don't have a direction, so they're just 5 up saves. That's 3 wounds.
And then on this side,
4 hits for 3 wounds. I will hit you for 3 hits.
3 pluses.
Yeah.
Of course.
3 wounds. Because, you know, who needs armor?
Right.
I will play some start of the round effects, please.
Roger.
So, at this point, basically, I'm winning. You score a point, though.
Oh, 2 for 1. Yeah,
So really, I just want to start putting up as many defensive things as I can.
So is there not a caveat to where they need to be?
So it must be within 2 inches of the builder,
Uh-huh.
just one part of it.
Right.
And it can't be on a unit or under it, and it can't be on a piece of terrain. But that's
Right.
it.
And but it's not a certain distance away from other enemies or anything like that?
No. Yeah. So I'm going to keep it an inch away so that it can't be attacked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put it here, and for those who want to get technical, I'm also putting it just past my center line, so that there's nothing you're allowed to, there's no positioning you're allowed to be in without being in contact with it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you charge me, even if this unit charged here, it would still then realign and take the hits. So that's that one using that. These guys will also use theirs because they just want to defend here and control this point. Again, I'm going for this just beyond my 50% line. I can actually do things like this if I want, because that's within 2 inches of me, but I just want to defend with it and go past my 50%.
Got you.
And again here, I just want to cover myself, so beyond my 50% line and there. And yeah, they're all basically just looking to protect themselves, and they become really terrible targets and fights, even though they're only a really weak unit. So that's what it's about. They actually generally don't have to defend these units because they kind of defend themselves.
So this is a question that I've never came up again. That's never really came up before. If you're engaged with someone and you start on top of can you use the free attack to attack the stakes?
You can, but you take the damage.
Yeah.
So every time you take an action, if you're on stakes, you'll take damage. That's before you destroy it. So yeah.
Right.
So they did FAQ it in the 1.6. It almost could have been absolutely obscene, but they FAQ'd it on the safe side, which is when you charge, you take one lot of hits after your movement before your attack, but not again after your attack. Yeah. But if you then go and surge forth, that's going to be damage. So if I can, the real thing that I'm looking for is I want you to end up on it when you're in combat with me. Because then you basically can't attack me without taking damage. You can't move off it without taking damage. Even if you eventually kill through the conscripts, it's going to hurt you a lot. So that's what the positioning that you're trying to achieve generally is.
This is pretty tricky. So at the moment, I'm struggling to see any sort of beneficial first turn to take.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're threatening me with two very powerful ranged units. And the 3 or 4 things that I could do with my turn on top of that all involve basically dying.
Taking wounds yourself, yeah. I mean, like I was saying in the intro, the modifications here empowers horses. So horses is probably a useful take, otherwise I'm going to take it and shoot.
So,
but that's very defensive, and you're already like
behind.
You're trying to save yourself. I mean, like money bags will put some wounds back on the table, but like nowhere near as many as I can just take off. Yeah, it's a tough situation. And once I'm up and I'm in a position that I want to be in, it's possibly already really tough. And that's what I was talking about. Really, you wanted some kind of gap closer, a Knights of Castle Rock or something like that, who would be able to at least threaten a charge right now. But right now, it's very unlikely that any of your units can charge me without these guys. You end up on stakes. That's really painful. These guys are just going to die. That's like, not going to happen for them. The rest are going to end up in really protracted combats, which aren't good for them. And these guys you can't actually even really charge because you'll get shot as soon as you charge them.
Have they got the standing fire as well?
He stands and shoots as well with the modification. I've never seen somebody take the Scorpion competitively without the modification. Yeah. The modifications are just really, really good now.
So I'm going to start with Pycelle.
Yeah. I will block whatever zone you take with Varys. Yes.
Yes. I will make your crossbows weakened.
Okay. Triple threat. I'll be taking Varys and I'll activate.
I don't have any here.
I'll take money bags. I'll take off the panic and the wounds on this. The ultimate reason is also that that it empowers my ability to reinforce. So it just gives me. It's just about leaving you with bad choices.
Yeah.
In this setup now.
Yeah.
These guys?
Yeah.
Into there. Yeah. Of course. And that's the kind of choices it's trying to force you to make. So you end up going 6 inches. You'll take
D3 plus 1 and
D3
then
plus 1 wounds.
And then a panic test, so D3 plus 1, 3.
So 3 wounds for the stakes, then the panic check for failing the charge.
A pass.
For the pass.
Okay, pass on a 9.
Corin. I will go on to swords. And I will take a shot with this into the cutthroats.
Right.
So I'll shoot into the flank of them. I make 3 attacks. I get 6 hits.
6 pluses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. None.
Yep.
Dead unit. Another point.
Take a VP.
I'll activate Roose.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the game is getting close to whatever, so I'll block whatever zone effect you take. Yeah, and that includes after you've swapped it for something else. So.
Okay.
Activate here. I will shoot into Ramsey's unit, and I will play Serrated Enhancement. The attack gains Vicious, and if you fail, you become weakened.
Okay.
So, 1 hit, which is 3 hits. Sundering for
So
-1, so
lose
2,
2.
and then Vicious plus the Corpse Pile for a -3.
Let's start on 6, 9.
Becomes 9. You pass.
Where are these dice rolls when I need to charge?
And that's activation.
Speaking of charges, I'm going to make those guys with Reek. I'll make those guys panicked.
Yeah.
On a 5 plus he dies.
Oh, of course.
Oh, is it? It's a 5 plus he dies, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 5 plus he dies. Yeah.
And then I'm going to charge you.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume pivoting to miss the thing.
Yeah.
Going about here.
Panic test at -1. Pass. So I'm activated.
I will take Othell onto here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll activate. Do anything?
Yeah.
No. I will swap the effect for. I will have Mighty Enhancement back.
Can you take it out of your discard as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Deck or discard.
Nice. So there was literally no point in his discarding it, really.
Well, I mean, still, it makes me take the zone just to have it back. But
Is it only when you pick a certain zone?
it's replace any
Right.
zone's effect, so I lose the crowns.
So this would be a huge charge as well. So there's not really any point in us doing it. That would be 3 on 2 dice, I believe.
I think you could get it down to 7, but you're
Rule 4, that's what I'm
you are
saying. 3 on
moving
2 dice.
4, yeah, and on 2 dice.
Oh, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go as far forward as I can and stay on that.
Okay.
Do a little bit of pivoting.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
So just spend the rest of the turn killing us.
Yeah, I'll activate these guys. I gain 3 wounds from reinforcements. And I'll be there. I will activate this unit.
Okay, I'll pay mutiny.
Yep.
So morale, do morale tests.
Straight
Test
morale test. You don't have money bags.
Nope.
Yeah. So it's a morale test, not a panic test. On 7. I
fail.
fail, so I
You
take
D3 wounds and you lose your attachment abilities.
Oh, okay, so no pip art. Take 1
Well,
wound. I will.
for the rest of the round.
Yeah. Yeah. I will shoot the mountain's men in the flank. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't get rid of influence effects, so I still have +1 attack. So that's 8 attacks. I'm in your flank. I'm playing Mighty Enhancement. So I'll reroll the hits and gain crit blow. 7.
Okay, I'll weaken those.
Weakened. Comes down to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Sundering and flank.
6 6+. And save 1, so lose 4, 5. And then a panic test at -1.
-1.
I just need to get a D3, mate. That. 10. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So
start on 7.
4 models left, right?
So that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Okay, which leaves me with these 2 guys. I think I'll just pass because, you know, if.
Okay. Well, I'm activated that one, so yeah.
Yeah, this one I'll stay still because that actually just isn't a good fight for me because you have horrific visage, cut them down, and stuff like that. Actually, that one goes genuinely badly for me.
So you just pass with that as well?
Yeah, so I pass here.
Yeah.
And they stay panicked. This one's gone, and this one's off.
Paid mutiny's off as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll discard, and now his watch is ended, and draw 2 more cards.
Oh, hey. I feel like I'll get rid of Fear Keeps a Man Alive as well. Okay.
It's
You go first.
It's 1 point, 1 point. And
D3s.
I take D3 plus 2 hits, 3 hits, 5s, 3 wounds.
These guys.
4 hits on 5.
Shall I just roll for these?
2 wounds, yeah.
4 here.
Hits and
that's my
3
unit.
wounds.
He's just trying to save my. So it's all 4 saves me.
Alright, a bit different.
Ruling my saves, how are
You rolling my hits?
Right, so you go first.
Yeah, so this is the only unit in the whole game that I'm scared of. So I will begin by activating Corin. I'll place Corin onto swords. I will put Corin back here, where he just continually does amazing things. And I will shoot you 3 dice, 6 hits with Sundering.
Right, so 6 on 4s. Is Horrific Visage only melee attacks?
Yeah, only melee. Plus I automatically, I can't
pass.
fail
So
checks anyway. So
that's 3, and then a panic test at -1. You didn't have an enhancement there, did you? So that's another 4 models.
Rough.
Very rough. Okay. I'm going to activate Pycelle.
I'll block whatever zone you take.
No, you
No.
won't. No, you
Fine.
won't. Not today. I'll put some models back over there, I guess. Okay, your turn, my man.
I'll take Varys onto the horses, and I'll take a shot here to try and finish you off. 6 hits.
Ooh. 2, it's enough to kill us. It's another point for you.
Yeah.
That's the nail in the coffin, really, isn't it? Oh, I could have had a free manoeuvre there as well at the start.
Do you want to take it?
So I've got not really a lot of options here. These guys are going to charge.
Those ones.
Yeah. Take 3 wounds and 2 dice. Don't get a 1. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So I've taken 3 models.
Yeah, so you're on 1 rank.
And this is just a last hurrah, really.
Yeah.
So no, I'm going to go over to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over here. And this is so the models come off before last attack, so I think this takes us down to 6 dice or 5.
I think it's 4. 8, 6, 4.
Is it? Oh.
Yep. And yes, it's after the movement happens.
So 2, 3, 4, 5 hits.
Crit blow, vicious, no sundering. I'll play 5 hits. Can't die. So I'm okay with it. I have shields like guards, but they can't die, and that's all I care about. So these guys will save on just a 6. So 4 wounds and a panic check.
At -2.
-2 puts me on a 10. Fail for 3 more.
3 more.
Yeah,
so I'll
fealty to the crown.
Yeah, I'll get 3 models back. 2, 3. Would have been nice to have cut them down there, wouldn't it?
And that was their activation, right?
It was their activation. Yeah.
I again mostly care about just staying on the table, so I will take Othell and I will go onto here, but I will replace the effect again with Mighty Enhancement back. Please.
Get something nasty back.
Yeah. Nasty guy. You go.
Roose. I'll stick him on there. But what do I want to do? Do I want some cards and give you a condition token? So it's 2 cards and 1 panic token, or 2 panic token. I think I'll take the 2 cards and 1 panic token.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. And I'll panic that unit over there.
I'm going to activate this unit.
Yep.
And I'm just going to heal D3 wounds on activation. And then I'm going to stay put.
Go on, charge, I dare. Right, okay. I don't really have a lot of other options, so I'm going to charge.
Yeah.
2 dice. Disorderly.
Yeah.
Still gets us in.
D3 plus 1 wounds. 2 wounds.
So it's 5 on 7. Sorry, 5 on 4s.
Yeah.
5 dice on 4s. Not allowed to reroll. So 3 hits. You're getting
shield for guards, the Rams and Men.
I'll counterplot that.
Okay.
I'll try. We got. Yeah.
Yep. So we're at 3 hits. You say?
3 hits, but you'll be on a 4+, right? Because I've charged through the.
Yes. Yeah, because of the wall. So 4+ saves. 2 wounds. And then panic. You're not vicious,
nope.
So it's a straight 8, but you have cut them down. So +2 to whatever. I'm failing, taking 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Okay. So. Oh.
And I no longer control the objective.
Oh, because I've got more.
Yeah, contested by more ranks.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Where's your weekend token from Pycelle?
From Pycelle. Yeah. Did it go on them?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only person that I would weaken out of the whole army. Because I can't weaken the catapult, can I? No, the scorpion.
No.
Okay.
And are you fully activated now?
I am, mate, yeah.
Okay, cool. I will...
Just tell us when I need rule saves.
Yep. I'm going to march with these guys. I'm going to take 3 wounds, and I'll be here. I will be activating this unit, and I will gain D3 wounds when I activate. That's them. 3, that's nice. And then I will make an attack onto you. I will be playing the Sword in the Darkness. So I'm a 753, I'm pretty sure. How little do I attack?
Yes, you do, yeah. Yeah, 753 or 754 on 4+.
Conscripts. 743. I did think they actually had a bit of an odd,
So you'll be rolling
odd attack
6.
profile. So 4 dice normal, +2. I control
sword.
swords, so
So
you're
I'm vulnerable.
And here we go, hitting on 4s. Yeah, that's 3 hits.
2 saves. You roll them.
Yeah, I'll vulnerable them.
2 saves.
Ooh. 1 wound and a panic check.
At no minus. Yeah. That's a fail. Another 2.
Yeah. Okay. You got nothing to go. So I'll go with these guys.
Makes no sense, does it?
Yeah, so I will be coming up here and shooting 8 dice into the flank. We're playing Mighty Enhancement. There we go. And I hit on 3s. 6s are 2 hits. We're at 7 hits. He's got the weakened.
7.
If you're interested.
Yes, I will take the weekend on that.
But I could crit blow and things could get worse. They
Like
have
that,
gotten
yeah.
worse.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 hits.
Oh, good.
Classical. That's a classic week.
Yeah.
I jinxed it by saying so just before.
Yeah, that's very.
You're splattered, and I take a panic for shooting into combat.
Roger.
Which, if I just find a D3.
How much are first? What are
I
they called?
fail, and I take 4 wounds.
How much are senior builders?
1 point.
I feel like it should be 2 points.
I would take none of them at 2 points.
But you took 3, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah. It's the old argument of 1 point, 40 points, and the point differentials that this game works on is very difficult for attachments, because I agree that he's probably a 1.2.5, 1.5 point attachment maybe at the moment. Depends against what army. Against your army, it would absolutely just shut you down. It's so painful. It's really bad. If he's worthless against eagles because they ignore them, swift advance and stuff like that are also very powerful against it. Cavalry depends on the positioning. Also, this game mode was powerful for it because of the fact that it just pinches the board in a little bit because of the impassable terrain. That helps. There are lots of things that this is a perfect storm of how good they could be. But
there are
I
plenty
do agree that they're at the very end of the curve of how good they should be. And we haven't even seen what attachment he gives. He also will give a modification to this, which we don't know what it will be. Presumably it will be a different one to Othell's one, which will cost a different amount of points and do something else.
I just don't know. I feel like if you can control, because so that terrain.
It's about this is about area and zonal control.
Yeah.
This whole list, and it's just about making all movement negative things.
Well, not just movement, so any actions, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but anything that happens within long range of me, anything that happens within long range of me is bad stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So at the end of the round, I will score 2 points. That one's contested. I'll just score 2. They will get shot and die, probably, but they still score, and it will end up 10-3, because they're insignificant, so whether they die
It makes no difference, yeah.
doesn't matter.
Cool.
Which I also do think Conscripts, they're not quite as powerful. Once I actually play them, the morale 8 is more painful than I want it to be. If your opponent can be very aggressive, it does really open up the opportunity for them to just wipe units out. But I still think that conscripts are incredibly powerful on the 4 end point of the curve. Insignificant was big. Vows was actually
huge,
even bigger.
Yeah. So you can actually turn them into fairly competent fighters.
I mean, when you're talking about mighty enhancement, you know, I can give them crit blow, reroll to hit if we start in combat, but actually the real things are like serrated enhancement on the charge. Giving them vicious is very, very powerful, and the other one as well, precision enhancement. So Othell has some good cards that combine with them.
But even stuff like
Sword in the Darkness, very powerful. Having money bags and playing Shields That Guards the Realms of Men, and having money bags and healing 3 means that this unit is just worth so much more than 4 points.
In the NRG TTS League, I played Night's Watch, and I came up against a couple of Night's Watch players. And one of the guys that I played against also really turned us on to Donald Noy as a NCU. So immune to vulnerable, +1 to saves. So they become a 4+ save that can't be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Probably making them a lot of the wounds that they've taken back the next turn. They've just become like an immovable force, and they're really, really good roadblocks.
Yeah.
I think they find a lot of people are complaining about Night's Watch at the moment, and I think
that conscripts really opens up the ability for you to take the expensive elite unit.
Yeah.
Trying to run mediumly good units in Night's Watch is not what I like at the moment. What I like is chaff filler with real value as like 2 extremes. I also, you know, my other list that goes with this is an Alistair list, and it runs Alistair in Ranger Hunters, which you have to be considering an 8-point unit plus your commander. That's like a 10-point unit there. And again, I fill it out by putting in conscripts to get my activation count high, so that this unit can still do whatever it wants on the board.
Totally.
I think the conscripts just are the make or break for how powerful a Night's Watch list is, because at 40 points, I just think, for me personally, it's also a personal thing, but for me, I cannot not play a list with 8 activations.
Well, I see. So my just 1 activation start and 1 activation behind was very obvious.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, so
whether it's NCU or something on the board, I think the extra activation does make a big difference.
Yeah, I feel like every list that I write, I want to achieve 8, and in Night's Watch that can only be achieved with conscripts. And then even once I've gotten to 8 with like 1 unit of conscripts, I'd generally rather drop something mediocre or 2 mediocre things into a 2nd unit of conscripts and a really good thing.
Yeah,
because that's what I like. I like the way I play is I like to have wasted activations and powerful activations, and then really double down on the powerful activations. And these guys are just the epitome of that. Like, they can do so much with the tactics board. They can move and be so aggressive. And the builder pushes you up to 5 points, but you can take on defensively. If your opponent has to come to you, you can take on things that are way, way more valuable than yourself.
Totally. So I think what you said there, if your opponent has to come to you, the game modes like this make, where you've got, you know, your very obvious places that you have to stay, make lists like that shine, because, like you say, once you've set up your wall, your defensive line, you are sitting pretty, and it's very difficult for even like so not particularly mobile army, but you know, units that, I mean, how much is, so it's 9 points for that Gregor unit.
Yeah.
Managing to shoot that off the board in 2 turns or 1 turn is
like I say, like
crippling.
that unit. It's like, I can't tell you what part of it is not worth 9 points, but as a package, it's not worth 9 points. Like, this is one of the few units, because of the way I feel that it can dominate the battlefield, the way it can assert its pressure on such a large range with the nimble and all the extra activations. The only time I've ever taken Gregor inside of Mountain's Men and thought that was worthwhile is with Tyrion, where you're again going to sacrifice tons of activations to make that unit have multiple actions, and that's one of the few times. Tyrion's one of the few exceptions because of the way he works, wherever you can kind of go.
You can sacrifice your chaff sort of activations. But no, it's been good. Yeah. So I think with all things considered, and I know we've talked about the price of the builder, the senior builder. If you saw them as maybe a limited option or something like that, because at the moment what I feel is in game mode, and if you think about objective-based game modes, you've got Game of Thrones, you've got Storm of Swords or Winds of Winter. Which one's the one with the objectives on the table? The 5 objectives.
Do you mean
the secret objective?
Secret objectives. So the secret objectives are Winds of Winter, which is the one where you just get them in your hand. It's so long since I played that one. There's Dark Wings, Dark Words. Where,
so that's 5 objectives on the table, right? And then you can sacrifice
the Dark Wings, Dark Words. We have one open one each turn, plus we choose to play one each round, and we can swap some out.
But there's 5 objectives on the table, 5 points.
There are 5 objectives, but you don't score points from them unless
there's something out.
Yes.
So
I see what you mean.
Sorry, so in the objective-based games where you've got designated zones, I think lists like this are going to be, but that's why you have a 2-list format.
So the other list is an Alistair list, and it is only designed to complement this list. It's not even designed to necessarily stand on its own 2 feet. It's designed for all the scenarios where I have to be aggressive. So everything about that list is aggressive, and everything about this list is defensive. Since the FAQ came out, I've much more leaned towards this one because I felt so the Ranger Hunters did get hit reasonably
because
hard
of the pivot,
because of your opponent pivots before you shoot after you make the retreat action, which I think is quite large actually.
I think it
I don't have any problems with which way it goes, but I thought it was a large part of the way that what that list was focusing on.
Of course it was.
So now I have a strong tendency towards wanting to play this one in most games in that list pair up. So we'll see how things go. But I have lost with this list. I've played against. I came incredibly close to losing against Free Folk.
With the Jarl,
The Eagle. No, he didn't run Jarl. He ran a single Eagle and Bone Lords Chosen. The Bone Lords Chosen were making a lot of activations. So they basically got through a unit of conscripts. And once you get into my backline, that's the weakness of the list. If you can get into the backline, this is very unmaneuverable. These guys can blow up very, very fast, and their only strength is that they can shift when they're charged from the front. So you need to be very careful. So your problems there are Swift Advance are very, very bad for you. If it allows your opponent to get into your flank, then that's totally going to get rid of your ability to shift and shoot. Also, the Eagle totally negates negates the stakes. And when you're defensive, your opponent can pick the fights, and they will just put an Eagle on one unit, wipe that unit out,
and then change next turn.
Eagle on a different unit, wipe that unit out. So that was a very, very close game, and I would lose that game were it not for the fact that it's Fire and Blood, which is strong for Night's Watch in general, and weak for the Free Folk, I would say. I have played this against Starks, who are just a bit more assertive, and again, Swift Advance. Swift Advance is the thing that kills you.
Did you play this against Dan?
No. So yeah, Swift Advance. If you don't have Swift Advance, then I'm basically like, go. I'll probably win.
Yeah.
Because even I say cavalry, but even cavalry don't like. Expensive cavalry don't want to charge instantly.
No.
Like
the potential of multiple lots of D3+1 rings. Yeah.
And as long as I put them down at the right times, it's a very, very difficult matchup for anything. As long as
it's a cool list, it's a really cool list, and I feel like it's really thematic because you've got these like hordes of conscripts who are really not really there to do much other than get in the way of stuff and protect the things that are your crossbowmen, your siege engines, keep all that stuff alive whilst Othell's shouting orders at them.
Yeah.
Fantastically thematic. I would try to go for a bit of a thematic list. Obviously not quite as effective on the board, but I like the theme, so I don't mind putting it on the board. And in other game modes, I've seen it do pretty well. I played against Free Folk. I mean, I lost the game, but it you know, when you're taking, we've talked about this earlier on today before the camera was on, the death by 1,000 cuts and all the small amounts of panic damage that you take, but it's just a fun list. It was meant to just be fun, but no, it's cool. And I think Senior Builder's definitely got a place in this type of list. Like it's 100% made for this type of list. I'm interested to see if Targaryens ever get a conscript style unit.
I think the freemen, which has been seen on some pre-order lists and stuff like that. I think that
do you think they'll hit that? Because
I think that looks roughly around the 4-point insignificant. Like just off the top of my head, I mean that's the gap it fills. Maybe it's 5-point poor fellows, but like they're not fanatical, so I don't see why they would be that. I think they're freed slaves, right? They're free people slaves, so you expect them to be at the very cheap end of things. That looks like insignificant, and it seems quite common for that also to be reinforcement as the rule. And that fills a massive role in Targaryens. Now you can take freedmen, Unsullied. That's your 9-point Unsullied instead of them, and Unsullied can do a similar level thing, except that the Unsullied, this list wouldn't work in my opinion without these units to pad it out. And that's where Unsullied currently exist. Is they're this expensive unit, but they don't have the support options. They have more aggressive things left and to the left and right of them, and really at the moment you're having to spam cutthroats or stormcrows in Targaryens just to like have a competitive unit count. And you know, the only non-thematic thing about this list is Varys, who is just he's a competitive power play, and like he just is that extra step of I will shut down things that might go wrong. And you know, that's just where the game's at in my opinion, which is Varys is very good. There's barely a better 4-point NCU in the game. So if you can, take him. if you try and win.
If you want to win, take Varys if he's available.
If you're playing a tournament.
Play Free Folk or play Varys.
Yeah.
Varys and Walder if you can.
Literally. Literally like that. You've got 2 lists. Probably one of them should have Varys in. One should have Walder in. Maybe you're both in both. Whatever. Do whatever you want. But if you're not playing Free Folk, you play those things. And if you are playing Free Folk, be aware that those things exist and probably take a gret because
Walder messes you up.
But,
cool.
You know.
So I think we'll call it there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. A few things to check out. So Carlo's website, which everyone should be using now, will upload this game after we turn the camera off, but songoficesandfirestats.com. It's songoficesandfire-stats.com. And make sure you sign up. You get power rankings, you get units, sort of like how efficient they are, what they're good at, what they're not very good at. You can have a look at what tournaments are going on. You can have a look at what lists people are using in tournaments. It's a wealth of information that can help drive your purchases, your your list building, and there's also, speaking of list building, like I showed you earlier on, there's a army builder function on the stats site, which is absolutely fantastic. I really like something that you've added, which you didn't have in, I think the first time you used it, is when you select your commander, it brings up the cards like you have in your card folder. So the commander's card, and then that's awesome. That's totally awesome. I really like that. So I'll flash that up on the screen in a second so you can see what I'm talking about. But that's basically just a really good way of seeing what that commander brings to your army as like a snippet. Obviously check out our YouTube. I'll put links for everything in below, but make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube. Check out our Facebook, everything like that. Song of Ice and Fire Guild, definitely make sure you check out them. So I'll put links to that down in the bottom. And I don't know if you've noticed, but me and Carlo are both wearing some fancy Northern Realms gaming merchandise.
Both repping Night's Watch today.
Night's Watch, yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, he's kind of a Stark. To me, he'll always be a bit of a Stark. You know, he's a bit of a Northern. I like to think that he's just there to help him.
Targaryen, so.
Well, spoilers.
Massive bleep spoiler across the screen.
Beep. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. But yes, yeah, so this is northernrealms.co.uk/store, all done by local tattoo artists who are all cool people. So check it out, there's plenty of stuff on there. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
See you later.